Hi everybody, my name is Adrian Nelson. I'm a holistic wellness practitioner in the beautiful Cape Town of South Africa. For those of you that are first time to my channel, welcome. For those of you that are coming back, welcome back. You are more than welcome to subscribe to the channel, share the videos, subscribe, like, all that type of things. I do weekly tarot and oracle as well as runes, guidance readings for all the zodiac signs. But this video specifically is more about the coronavirus happening at the moment. I did actually record something, some of you may have seen it. Last week Friday I uploaded it and then actually took it down again because, sometimes in the face of adversity it takes quite a bit of courage to actually, stand up and say things. So I went into a bit of a moment of fear there, and it's a human thing to do. But anyway, so what I want us to realize, I think the first thing of all is that, and I'm not meaning to sound crude or anything like that, but I'm just going to give it to you all straightforward. Okay, the first thing, or one of the first things that we want to bear in mind, is that by being born, by default, you're going to die. Okay? Life is not a deal that is lasting forever. At one point or the other, by being born, you're going to die. Okay? And then just the other thing that I want to put out there, yes, I know that all of us as humanity as a whole, we are very concerned about, the coronavirus going around, what is going to happen. And those are very normal human emotions, because you're concerned about your children and your kids. Or, well, same thing. The economy and your job, but for example, as humanity, when it comes to a time where it makes the most logical sense for us to stand together, we actually don't. We call ourselves as very enlightened species, we call ourselves very clever, but when it comes to sharing at a time when it makes most sense to share, we actually don't. My best friend Alondra and I, we went to the store yesterday to go buy lunch, and the shelves were so empty because everybody's just buying products, and I can understand why they're doing it, but so many of us are just buying products and trying to get as much as we can get so that we have, and kind of screw the rest. If they can't get on there now, I'm going to be okay, I'm going to be fine. And I understand where those fears are coming from. But I just want to point out that we, as humans, it's almost sad, really. Because if you look, for example, anywhere in nature, a pack of wolves or baboons or what, I grew up in the country, so I know baboons. When they come across, an orchard or whatever, or a land of pumpkins or potatoes or whatever the case may be, or if a pack of wolves or whatever make a kill, or lions, it is not about who made the kill. It is shared amongst everyone. For anybody who ever stayed in the country, you would know. If a pack of baboons come across your stuff, you know, because they call everybody, they share with everyone. It makes sense for them to share. They don't say, "Oh, I'm not going to share today because, I came across this wonderful orchid of whatever, and I'm sorry, I can't share with you all now because what if there is not enough tomorrow?" Okay. I want to point out that we've been really living in a lack mentality for many years, for decades, in fact, centuries. You can look back as far as biblical times, you can look back even further. Whenever there was something happening where there was some sort of fear or whatever, separation immediately came in. Lepers, for example. Okay, I know that obviously, it's something that you could get, but you were so outcast, you were almost horrible. HIV. I personally know people who are HIV positive who are not going for treatment, free treatment that can extend your life, you can have a perfectly beautiful life. But it's because of the factor of shame, the factor of fear. I mean, there are people hiding away their cancer. Okay? Because we live in a world where separation kind of runs the order of the day. And it's not really serving us in a very positive way. Okay? So first of all, what I want to remind you of is that what you give out is what comes back to you. If you're going to go into a fear mentality of like, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, then you might be attracting fear towards you even more and more so. And what is more fearful at the moment than the coronavirus? But also, here's the thing with humanity when you really want to think about it. Corona's been going for a while now, okay? But I'm in Cape Town in the beautiful South Africa, beautiful Cape Town. You look out, there's the ocean, there's all these wonderful things. But a large majority of South Africans haven't really been too bothered about the corona thing. It was a problem in China, and it was a problem, for the US, and it was a problem for the UK, and most of Europe, and Italy was on shutdown, and we're making all kinds of jokes and memes and stuff about that. And even though the statistics were all out there, right there for us to see, because it wasn't directly affecting us, because it wasn't threatening us, our lives, our older people, our grandparents and parents and young kids and economy and all, because it wasn't affecting us. It was okay to be flippant about it. It was okay to be ignorant about it because it was their problem. It wasn't our problem. Because we see ourselves as separate from one another. Okay? And we're really not doing ourselves any favor. But now, all of a sudden, when it has been declared like a, like a national problem, suddenly all South Africans are up in arms, it's like, oh my goodness, it's Corona time, and let's make no more jokes around this, this is very serious now. But it's always been serious. There are many things in this world that are very, very serious, but we turn a blind eye to things because we feel it's not our problem. Everybody knows that there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people dying around the world every single day because they don't have food every day. This is no secret. Everybody knows this. Yet we don't do anything about it. Or rather many of us, we live in a world where we've got a roof above our head, we've got running water, we've got food on our table, and so it's easy for us to turn a blind eye to what's happening around us. We walk down the road, we see somebody scratching in a bin for food, and it doesn't bother us. The fact that fellow humans are suffering doesn't seem to bother us. And that in itself is a sickness. I believe that Corona just really points out a problem that we've had for a very, very long time, and the question is, will we listen this time? Will we learn the lesson this time? Or are we going to go straight back into our, into our almost selfishly programmed ways of being of their problem, not mine. I'm in my home. I quarantined myself. I've got my mask. I've got my food. I've got my water. I've got my everything. I'm fine. Myself and my family, we are fine. It's because we at some point stopped seeing ourselves as part of everything. We look at some people as being beneath us. And I myself am guilty of it as well, all of us, because we live in a world where we're very negatively programmed. I mean, I had two white ladies moving in next to me, my neighbors, and I saw them, so I know they're white. But then early in the morning, 6:30, I went to go put out the dirt. I went to go put out the rubbish, and I could see into the kitchen, and there was a black lady doing the dishes. And I thought to myself, oh, look at this white girl styling. They've got a maid 6:30 in the morning. But then immediately within that moment, I realized that this is just prejudice. This is just me assuming, because when I looked at this lady, she was young, she was beautiful, she was well presented. So it could just mean that the three of them are living together. But we go into these phases, and I believe it's important to acknowledge when we do. Okay, it's sad. It really is sad that in what is supposed to be a very modern world, we are okay with others not being okay around us. Okay, we are okay with people sleeping outside. We are okay with fellow human beings suffering, and then we call the animals, wild or unruly or whatever. But you really have to ask yourself the question: how much can we actually learn from nature? Because I think we can learn quite a lot. Okay. Um, I really think it's time for us to go into a mindset of saying, how can we help each other? At least not hurt each other. In my video that I made on Friday that I took down, out of fear, really, um, is, for example, I was mentioning this one time. I was sitting at a bus stop and the gentleman came past, clearly living on the street asking for money, and this group of young people said they don't have, which is fine. They may or may not have. I mean, it's their money. They don't have to share if they don't want to. But then as the guy was stepping away and he could still hear them, they were saying like, oh my God, there's some street people and they're always asking for money and you shouldn't give them money because if you live on the street, you just want to buy booze or you just want to buy drugs, not even going to buy bread. And me being me, I turned around and I said, well, first of all, if you live on the street, and I'm just talking about Cape Town for now, if you live on the street, because Cape Town is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful place, but of course there's also a part of it that a lot of people don't see. If you live on the street, it's not easy. You are exposed to the elements. It can get very hot over here. It can get very windy over here. It can rain for like 6, 7 days straight in winter. It can get very cold. Um, People that live in the street on the street, you are constantly being abused. You are molested, most likely raped. um, these are things that are happening around us, and everybody knows it, but nobody wants to actually do something about it. Okay. Anyway, so this group was saying like, and I said, well, first of all, if you live on the street, it's probably better to be drunk all the time, because when you're drunk, you don't realize a lot of these things happening to you, and obviously you are depressed. I mean, we are depressed when you can't even pay our rent or our bonds or our car. I'm so depressed today, I can't even afford a chocolate. What if you haven't eaten for a day or two? Okay. Um, So we just want to be mindful of that sort of things. And the other thing I said is like, so they said to me, well, you should go work. And I said, well, yeah, we are sitting, all educated, kitted out well in life, well spoken, well presented. And it's so difficult for us to find work sometimes. Would you even give that person a chance? Would you actually let that person come work in your garden? Because you're going to be afraid they're going to steal your plants. Okay. What if they move in on your lawn? Okay. So I think let's just be very mindful of our words sometimes. And when you get something coming around like the coronavirus that is now a problem for everybody everywhere, instead of going back to that fear mentality that we've been at before, I would like to encourage everybody to open your hearts, open your minds, open your souls to the idea that what can I do to help? Okay. And if you're not going to do anything to help, let's at least try not to step on anybody else. Like anything else in this world, this coronavirus will pass. It will pass. Okay. It may pass like a kidney stone, but it's going to pass. I think we've got a lot of say in how it will pass. Will we feed it by fear or will we feed it by love? Okay. For those of you that are in South Africa, or on South African time, or whichever time your heart calls upon you, I put it out there that at 12 o'clock in South African time every day in the afternoon, I'll be sending positive energy, love and light, Reiki energy, globally. You're more than welcome to join me if you like. And I wish you all the best. Okay? I wish you all the best. I wish you love and light. Let's not forget that we are tourists if you want to think of it like that, like souls having a human being experience. You are a tourist on planet Earth. You're not going to stay here forever. You were never going to stay here forever. Okay? But I encourage you to open your heart to love, to open your heart to a more loving way of being, to send love. As I said, it's okay to be afraid, it's okay to be nervous, it's okay to be uncertain, but let's not practice almost deliberate me or you, so I choose myself type of thing. Okay? It makes sense to obviously look after yourself, it makes sense to look after your family, but let's also remember that when we come together as humanity, and we come together in love, and we say, how can we all contribute and work together? Same thing, really. But how can we all work together towards overcoming this? The results might surprise all of us. Okay. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for your energy. I'm Adrian Nelson of Age and Great Life. I'm a holistic wellness practitioner. I live in the beautiful Cape Town of South Africa. And do subscribe to my channel, like the video, share with others, and I will be recording the readings for all the zodiac signs. I'll try my best to do it today, or maybe today and tomorrow. General guidance for all the zodiac signs. If you want to have a personal reading, you can book it down below. But from my heart to yours, namaste, love and light.